My first time playing Neverwinter Nights. You guys know I like RPGs. Look, check out the shirt. Check this out. You see it? Look at that. Attack, magic, summon, item, run. That's me. Alright, so let's create this guy. Let's create the future hero. And after I get through creating this, I'm about to watch Merlin. I'm about to go watch Game of Thrones. Because when I watch stuff like that, it gives me a real motivation to create this stuff. Trophy enabled campaigns and then other modules. We're going to start with the Neverwinter Nights campaign. I've never played this game, so it is all new to me. And this is a break from Smite, man. I need something else, you know, something to really hit that RPG element. So we'll do Neverwinter Nights. Wow, they have all these different chapters. I can't even skip to them. So we'll go ahead and do the prelude, and then we're gonna create the character. All right. Now listen. I'm not a D&D aficionado. I'm not a know-it-all. So I'm coming into this with an open mind and just childhood wonder and thirst for a game. So I'm gonna create somebody. It may or may not make any sense. We'll just go from it. Okay, so, and I don't know the rules about. All I know is humans can't multi-class very well. That's all I know. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how it works. Okay. Guys, I don't even know how do I do this? Okay, wow, that took a while. Okay, female. Females of the realms can excel in any field of endeavor, from scholarly pursuits to the arts of war. Same as a guy. So I'm going to be a guy. And then we're going to do race. Dwarf. Does it separate? That is cool. So let's look at dwarf. Okay, so you get to create your own. Okay. Dwarves are known for their skill in warfare, their ability to withstand physical and magical punishment, their hard work, and their capacity for drinking ale. Dwarves are slow to jest and suspicious of strangers, but they are generous to those who earn their trust. They stand just about 4 to 4 feet and a half, but are broad, compactly built, almost as wide as they are tall. Dwarven skin varies from deep tan to light brown, and their hair is black, gray, or brown. Dwarven men value their beards highly. Dwarven abilities adjustments: 2 plus Constitution, -2 Charisma. Obviously, they're slow to jest. There's obviously those modifiers that prove the rule. Sometimes you will get a funny comedian that happens to be a dwarf, just not common. Favorite class: a fighter. A multi-class dwarf's fighter class does not count when determining whether he suffers a penalty for multi-classing. Special abilities. Look at all of this. Stone cunning, dark vision. They can see in the darkness. Hardness versus poisons. Hardness versus spells. Offensive training versus orcs. Offensive training versus goblinoids. It's goblin. Defensive training against giants. Skill affinity. Wow. So if you choose, and that's dwarf. So elves. See, elves are known for their poetry, song, and magical arts, but when danger threatens, they show great skill with weapons and strategy. Elves can live to be over 700 years old, and by human standards are slow to make friends and enemies, even slower to forget them. Elves are slim, 4.5 to 5 feet tall. Huh, some video games are tall, but they tend to be pale skinned, dark haired with deep green eyes. They have no facial or body hair, prefer comfortable clothes, and possess unearthly grace. Many other races can find them hauntingly beautiful. And then their abilities: sleeplessness, immune to spells that affect the sleep, hardness, versatility, good against enchantments. They gain bonus proficiencies in long swords, rapiers, short bows, and longboards. All items that require elegance, something like that. All items that require dexterity, rather. They get a racial bonus to search checks, racial bonus to spot checks, keen senses, low light. They can see better than normal in the dark. It's cool. Gnomes. Gnomes are in wide demand as alchemists, inventors, and technicians. They most prefer to remain among their own kind in simple comfort. Gnomes adore animals, gems, and jokes, especially pranks. They love to learn by personal experience and are always trying new ways to build things. Gnomes stand 3 to 3.5 feet tall, with skin that ranges from dark tan to woody brown. Their hair is fair, their eyes are often some shade of blue. With great detail, gnomes generally wear earth tones but decorate their clothes intricately. Males favor carefully trimmed beards. Gnomes live 350 to 500 years. Wow. So with their special ability, small stature, they get size bonuses to attack rolls, to AC. They can hide checks. They're good against illusions, good against reptilians, goblinoids, defensive training against giants. They have a spell focus, low light vision. Wow, they got some good stuff too. Halflings are clever, capable, and resourceful survivors. They're notoriously curious and show a daring that many larger people can't match. They can be lured by wealth but tend to spend rather than hoard. Halflings have ruddy skin, hair that is black and straight, and often, black and straight, brown or black. Halfling men often grow long sideburns but rarely beards and mustaches. They prefer practical clothing and would rather wear a comfortable shirt than jewelry. Halflings stand about 3 feet tall. It's a lot of short people. It is common for them to live up to 150. They're good at rogues. They also have the small stature ability, as we discussed with the gnomes. They can move silently, good at listening, lucky, fearless, good aim for throwing weapons. Halflings are small creatures, and as such they can use following: large weapons, bastard swords, dire mace, two-bladed sword, double axe, great sword. Wow. Halfling characters should only choose a default package for their class, as other packages may give halflings weapons they cannot use. That makes a lot of sense. Half-elf. Half-elves have the curiosity and ambition of the human parent, with the refined senses and love of nature of their elven parent. That they are outsiders among both cultures, kind of like mixed kids. To humans, half-elves look like elves. To elves, they look like humans. Half-elves are pale, fairer, and smooth-skinned than their human parents, but their actual skin tones and other details vary, just as human features do. Half-elves tend to have green eyes, and they tend to have green elven eyes, and they live up to 180 years old. They can favor any class. They have the sleeplessness, hardiness versus enchantments, partial skill affinity for listening, search, and spotting, low light vision. Half-orc. This would be interesting. Half-orcs are the short-tempered and sullen result of human and orc pairings. They would rather act than ponder, would rather fight than argue. They love simple pleasures such as feasting, boasting, and wild dancing. They are an asset in a right sort of party, but not at a grand ball. Half-orcs are as tall as humans, but their brutish features betray their lineage. They also regard scars as tokens of pride. They can rarely reach the age of 75. Their favorite class is barbarian, and they have dark vision. They can see in the dark. Which brings us to human, which is probably what I'm going to end up being. Humans are the most adaptable of all common races. In any game, you get that. If it's Pillars of Eternity, 1 and 2, Boulder's Gate. They are the most common. So there's a lot of humans around here. It makes sense though because their lifespan is a lot shorter. See, short generations, a penchant for migration and conquest that are very physically and diverse as well. Skin shades range from nearly black to very pale. Hair from black to blonde, facial hair from men from sparse to thick. There are some women with facial hair, it's out there. Humans are often unorthodox in their dress, sporting unusual hairstyles, fanciful clothes, and tattoos alike. They can favor any class, whether when determining multi-class, they can suffer from XP penalty. Highest level class does not count. Quick to master feats. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and be a human. Subways. Sub-race. I just put black. I don't think it matters. Divine. I'm going to put divinity. This guy was chosen since birth to be the one. So now we're going to do portrait. I often like looking at portraits. See, these portraits are cool. Look at that. That's cool. That's a cool portrait. I mean, I wouldn't mind, except I'm not digging the hairstyle. He looks cool though. That's an interesting look. Look at that, an Asian guy. He's about to choke somebody. Look at that, Dark Knight. These portraits are cool. Is that guy black? It's hard to tell with his hair like that. That's a good picture too. I might choose that picture. Wizard, of course. Okay, and then there's just logos. Oh, okay, and then there are more pictures. Look at that, the rare black elf. Super rare. Why does this guy's head look like that? So we're looking. Okay, I gotta choose a character. I might choose this guy. I may choose this guy. Yeah, I won't choose this guy. Even though this picture looks cool, I can't get past the hairstyle. Okay, now I get to make my class. Wow, look at all these classes. These are a lot of classes. Okay, I'm gonna go over the classes, but I'm just gonna go over the summary. I'm not gonna go over all this extra stuff. Barbarians are brave, even reckless warriors, and their great strength and hardiness makes them well suited for adventure. Barbarians scornfully reject the fighter tradition of arms training and discipline, instead tapping into a powerful rage that makes them stronger, tougher, and better able to withstand attacks. They only have the energy for a few such displays per day, but it is usually sufficient. Constant exposure to danger also gives the barbarians a sort of sixth sense, a preternatural ability to sense danger, dodge attacks, and their running stamina is legendary. So I want you guys to understand, like, basically, a barbarian is an untrained, undisciplined, powerful warrior. It's almost like, I'll put it to you like this. Let's use like a modern day reference. There's a guy. Let's use Lethal Weapon 4. Do you remember that movie? Mel Gibson, if he had an archetype in that movie, he would be a barbarian. Just a scrapper over there punching and kicking, just no discipline. Jet Li, he would be a trained fighter or monk. He'd be a monk, but basically the key word is trained. You know, there are two different styles. So, you know, a barbarian is somebody that can fight. It's like they don't have training. it's just natural for them. So they go out there and bards. Bards often serve as negotiators, messengers, scouts, and spies. They love to accompany heroes and villains to witness heroic or villainous deeds firsthand. Since a bard who can tell a story from personal experience earns renown among his fellows, a bard casts arcane spells without any arcane preparation. Much like a sorcerer, his magic emphasizes charms and illusions, and a bard can also play an inspiring song that strengthens him and his allies. Bards also share some specialized skills with rogues, and their knowledge of item lore is nearly unmatched. So that bard is that guy that comes in your adventure, sings songs. He's in the background trying to motivate you from he's in the back lines trying to motivate you and stuff like that. Is sort of skilled in some type of magics, mostly persuasion, charm, or illusion based through his music. I can see that. And obviously, yeah, I can imagine it now. Just imagine somebody shooting an arrow, an archer shooting an arrow. The bard is playing like a song that emphasizes frost, and he changes your arrow into an ice arrow. Whatever, it's just my mind. Jeez, 16 minutes. I might have to make a part. At 20 minutes, we have to make another part. Okay. Cleric. Clerics act as intermediaries between earthly and divine or infernal worlds. A good cleric helps those in need, while an evil cleric seeks to spread the patron's vision of evil across the world. All clerics can heal runes and bring people back from the brink of death, and powerful clerics can even raise the dead. Likewise, all clerics have authority over undead creatures, and they can turn away or even destroy these creatures. Clerics are trained in the use of simple weapons and can use all forms of armor and shields without penalty. Since armor does not interfere with the casting of divine spells, in addition to his normal complement of spells, every cleric chooses to focus on 2 of his deity's domains. These domains grant the cleric special powers and gives him access to spells that he might not even learn in the first place. So, clerics are pretty much self-explanatory. Yeah, druids. Druids are divine spellcasters who receive their spells from nature, not gods. They strive to live in harmony with the natural world and hate anything that is not a part of the natural cycle, especially aberrations and undead creatures. As they gain experience, they learn to take the shapes of animal and eventually of more powerful creatures. The strict oaths taken by every druid prohibits using weapons and armor outside of their tradition. That makes sense. Fighters can be many things, from soldiers to criminal enforcers. Some are adventurers. Some see adventures as a way of life to get rich, while others use their skills to protect the innocent. Fighters have the best all-around fighting capabilities of any PC classes, and they are trained to use all standard weapons and armor. A fighter's rigorous martial training grants him many bonus feats as he progresses, and high-level fighters have access to special melee maneuvers and exotic weapons not available to any other character. As that fighter, you train to fight. Man, there's a lot of classes. Holy crap. Well, these are prestige classes. Can you be a prestige class? Yeah, so you can't be a prestige class. That's later. Yeah. Okay, so we won't read the prestige classes then. Or maybe we will. Depends on how I feel. Monk. Monk, a versatile warrior skilled at fighting without weapons or armor. Good aligned monks serve as protectors of the people, while evil monks make ideas, spies, and assassins. Though they don't cast spells, monk channels a subtle energy called ki. Dragon Ball. This energy allows them to perform amazing feats, such as healing themselves, catching arrows in fights, dodging blows with lightning speed. Their mundane and ki-based abilities grow with experience, granting them more powers over themselves and their environment. Monks suffer unique penalties to their abilities if they wear armor, as doing so violates their rigid oaths. A monk wearing armor loses the wisdom and level-based armor class bonuses, their movement speed, and additional armor attacks per round. Nice. Paladin. This may be the class that I might end up being. It's possible that I may become a paladin. Paladins take their adventures seriously, and even a mundane mission in, and the hearts of the paladin is a personal test. an opportunity to demonstrate bravery, to learn tactics, and to do so good and to do good in the world. Divine power protects these warriors of virtue, warding off harm, protecting them from disease, healing them and their allies, and guarding against fear. Divine power also guides their sword arms, making them among the most effective warriors against undead and evil outsiders. Many of the paladin's special abilities also benefit from a high charisma score. Wow. See, I like that. And then you got the Ranger. Rangers are skilled stalkers and hunters who make their home in the woods. Their martial skill is nearly the equal of the fighter, but they lack dedication to the craft of fighting. Instead, the fighter focuses his skills and training on a specific enemy, a type of creature he bears a vengeful grudge against and hunts above all others. Rangers often accept the role of protector, aiding those who live or travel through the woods. His skills allow him to quietly move and stick to the shadows, especially in nature or natural settings. And he also has a special knowledge of certain type of creatures. Finally, an experienced ranger has such a tie to nature that he can actually draw on a natural power to cast divine spells, much as a druid does. And like a druid, he is often accompanied by an animal companion. Nice. Rogue. Big rogue. Rogues have little in common with each other. While some, maybe even the majority, are stealthy thieves, many serve as scouts, spies, investigators, diplomats, and simple thugs. Rogues are versatile, adaptable, and skilled at getting what others don't want them to get. While not equal to a fighter in combat, a rogue knows how to hit where it hurts, and a sneak attack can dish out a lot of damage. Rogues also seem to have a sixth sense when it comes to avoiding danger. Experienced rogues develop nearly magical powers and skills as they master the art of stealth, evasion, and sneak attacks. In addition, while not capable of casting spells on their own, a rogue can sometimes fake it, well enough to cast spells from scrolls, activate wands, and use just about any other magic item. That's pretty cool. They sound like they would make excellent sellswords. A sorcerer. I've never, in every game I choose the same class. I've never actually started off like as a sorcerer. It just makes me wonder. Sorcerers are arcane spellcasters who manipulate magic energy with imagination and talent rather than studious discipline. They have no books, no mentors, no theories, just raw power that they direct at will. Sorcerers know fewer spells than wizards do and acquire them more slowly, but they can cast individual spells more often and have no need to prepare their incantations ahead of time. Also, unlike wizards, sorcerers cannot specialize in a school of magic. Since sorcerers gain their powers without undergoing the years of rigorous study that wizards go through, they have more time to learn fighting skills and are proficient with simple weapons. So, basically, just like the barbarian and the fighter, so too is the wizard and the sorcerer. The wizard is just wild, just go out there and do it, just cast spells like that. The wizard, gets a book, sits there by candlelight, looking at incantations, practices, and then casts spells. They're very structured, but not the sorcerer. He fights with feeling and emotion. That's what I get when I think about a sorcerer. And then the last class, before the master classes, is wizard. Wizards are arcane spellcasters who depend on intensive study to create their magic. To wizards, magic is not a talent, but a difficult, rewarding art. When they are prepared for battle, wizards can use their spells to devastating effects. When caught by surprise, they are vulnerable. The wizard's strength is her or his. There's not. Okay. Or their spells. Everything else is secondary. She learned. Why is it always she? Is it sex dependent? They learn new spells as the experiments grows in experience. And they can also learn from other wizards. In addition, over time, a wizard can learn to manipulate their spells so they can go farther, work better, or improve in some other way. A wizard can call a familiar a small magical creature that serves them. And then these expertise classes, you got shadow dancers, They operate in the border between light and dark. The Harper Scout, secret society, members dedicated to holding back evil, preserving knowledge, and maintaining the balance. Wow. Arcane Archer, master of elven warbands. The Arcane Archer is a warrior skilled in using magic to supplant their combat prowess. Wow. Fighters, rangers, paladins, barbarians become arcane archers to little magic their combat abilities. Nice. Assassin, the master of dealing quick and lethal blows. The Blackguard epitomizes evil. They are nothing short than a mortal fiend, a black knight, champion of Torm, mighty warriors who dedicate themselves to Torm's cause, defending holy ground. Look at that. Weapons master, perfection is the master of all single-handed melee weapons. That's awesome. Pell Master, necromancy, usually a poor choice for arcane spellcasters. Those who really want to master the deathless art almost always pursue divine means. However, an alternative exists for those who desire power over undead. Shifter, they can basically shapeshift. Dwarven Defender, wow, a Dwarven aristocrat, deity, way of life. Red Dragon Disciple, the magical powers of sorcerers and bards are somehow connected to the presence of dragon blood in their family. Purple Dragon Knight, the famous purple dragons of Khmer are regarded across Faerun as examples of disciplined, skilled, loyal soldiers. Their reputation is deserved partly because of the heroic actions of their leaders. See, I might want to go in to Purple Dragon Knight. Let's go to recommended. So they recommend fighter. See, even if you chose like sorcerer, you go to recommended, you go to fighter. Okay, so what is my character gonna do? You know what? This has gone on for 26 minutes, so we're gonna make a part 2. Make sure you guys come back. This is Last Man Game. Make sure you subscribe, follow. It's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to actually get started playing the game. But we're gonna make a part 2 because this is going on 30 minutes. Oh, that sucks. A second person just joined. I really hate to cut the broadcast. For that person that just joined the video, I'm streaming. I'm going to export this to my YouTube channel. You can find the YouTube channel as The Last Man Game. I'm about to cut this broadcast out and then come back within 10 minutes so I can make a part 2. Right now we're going over character classes, biographies, and basically constructing the birth of a hero, the character that I'm going to be in Neverwinter Nights. So if you're just joining us, you can follow if you want, subscribe, whatever. Give me about 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to cut this video, export it to YouTube, and then make a part 2, and that's where we're actually going to start the adventure. We're probably going to start from there. If you just joined, we just went over all the classes and all of the master classes. This is very, very exciting as we're going to delve into the complicated relationship between black people and Dungeons and Dragons. I just felt like saying that because I don't see a lot of, I know we're out there, we're not a lot, but I like this kind of stuff, man. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and cut it short. I'll be back in 15 minutes to do part 2 of the video.